Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. On behalf of Weigel's, fuel and food that's fast, fresh, and friendly, here's your East Tennessee weather update. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about in terms of rain, also some tropical weather, a big storm named Lee. But if you're waking up this morning to some thunderstorms, there's a good chance you could be in Scott County. Oh, yes, maybe just south of Oneida, you're hearing some rumbles of thunder. You said, wait a minute, it's only 6:40 in the morning. I thought this was going to be in the afternoon. Oh, it could happen any time today. May actually linger into this evening, but it is about to approach Interstates I-75. I-75 as it heads up toward La Follette, but it's moving to the north and east at this very hour. So I want to say good morning to you. I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook at the same exact time. There's a reason I would say showers and storms linger tonight, because the rain you see back toward Cape Girardeau and south of St. Louis will be working its way here over time tonight as well. So we have the potential, maybe not some downpours everywhere, but a 60% chance of rain. And you can see that rain extends all the way down toward the Lone Star State. But we're going to get more into that here in just a moment. Visibility not the best in Jacksboro, La Follette, Caryville, down to a mile. Fog may be an issue in Bell County this morning. They're down to a mile in Crater City, and 8 miles visibility there in Jonesville. Not a big problem in Knoxville. But sometimes it's just the luck of the draw if, in fact, you're dealing with some patches of fog this morning. I want to bring up to speed temperatures, because you're out the door this morning. You're going to find temperatures in the upper 60s right now in Knoxville, 70 in Chattanooga, and 61 in Johnson City. But if we close in a little closer to home, at least temperatures regionally are in the 60s and 70s, but you look closer to home at 67 in Oak Ridge, 65 in Maryville, and we have 66 in Madisonville at this particular time. I want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, say hello to me. I'm on both YouTube and Facebook. Marilyn Bell says, happy Tuesday, everyone. Enjoy your day. Fred says, good morning, David. He's grabbing some Weigel's coffee. Thank you, Fred. And I know Weigel's support appreciates that. I appreciate that, as I'm very happy to have them as a sponsor this morning. Good Tuesday morning, says Carrie. She's one of my premium members on Facebook. Everyone have a blessed day. She's got her cup of coffee for Weigel's at a heart, and mentioning some notes here coming in from Wanda Poe. Says she loves the cool nights. What are the tropics doing? Not necessarily good news for New England. We're going to get into that here in just a few moments. But I'll jump over to YouTube, because if you're on here, maybe kind of a more expansive here. I've got now 2 people here watching. Marilyn Bell says, happy Tuesday, everyone. So glad to have you on YouTube as well as you're here on Facebook. So it depends on the platform that you prefer. But I want to address the pink elephant in the room. No, it's not Hurricane Lee, although he could be considered a pink elephant. I'm talking about the Tennessee Valley Fair. We got some things going on tonight. Travis Tritt's in town tonight, 8 o'clock. Fireworks at 10:30. I know here's a quarter, call someone who cares, but it's a great day to be alive. Some of you Travis Tritt fans out there go, yeah. Best days are going to be, though, tomorrow and, Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow's okay, too. But Thursday and Friday, humidity's low, lots of sunshine. The cotton candy, the popcorn, the funnel cakes, all the things that bring back memories for you as a kid, as when you were at the Tennessee Valley Fair, I think will be alive and well. Certainly any day this week you can go, but you'll have some raindrops to dodge if you head there today, because they open the doors at 10 a.m. and they're open till 11 o'clock tonight. So the Tennessee Valley Fair is one aspect, but who's going to give you the Gator game forecast? Oh, yes, I know it's come back again. We're talking about Go Big Orange, talking about the Swamp. We're going down at 7 o'clock Saturday. It's on ESPN. But I'm expecting temperatures may kick off around 81, but they'll spend most of the day in the 70s. And who would tell you the sun sets at 7:35 down there? Oh, I did my little homework. East wind at 5 to 10. Of course, we're 2-0. They're 1-1. The Swamp, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, but temperatures in the 70s. But the sun will be going down about 35 minutes after this game begins. And what's nice about the Vols is that they're ranked number 11 in the country, and Florida's probably looking a little weak. So let's hope that the Austin Peay game was a wake-up call as they head down to the Swamp this Saturday. So I just thought, if you just watched me for a few minutes, you have some takeaways. He gave me the Tennessee Valley Fair. Thank you very much. I'm on my way. Or, hey, I'm going to stick around for Hurricane Lee because I got family in New England. I'm going to cover it all. But I just want you to know, it is Gator Hater Week. Oh, he brought out his gator. Oh, yeah. There's probably more gator meat eaten this week than any week during the year in Knoxville. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe it's something you're thinking about, but if you are traveling to the game, the weather should be pretty sweet. By the way, dew point temperatures. So what are those? That's the temperature at which water vapor condenses. When it's near 70 or in the upper 60s, it doesn't feel all that grand. And these will be dropping exponentially as we head into the middle part of the week. But right now we've got mid-60s in Oak Ridge, upper 60s Morristown. It feels a bit sticky, and that humidity that you see featured in green here is going to be pulling away. It comes back maybe at noontime today. It's still stuffy at 5 o'clock. We've got showers and storms in the area. And then by 11 o'clock tonight, it's still pretty sticky. But by the time we move into tomorrow, watch what happens to the green ooze. It starts to retreat, stays away most of the day tomorrow, really feels good on Thursday, which is why I said probably your best days of the week to be at the Tennessee Valley Fair, maybe Thursday, Friday, because the sun's shining, there's no humidity, it feels fantastic, really no complaints outside of maybe the ragweed, but that's just par for the course this time of year. We have a 3-mile-an-hour wind at McGee-Tyson. Now, why would Jacksboro suddenly be 13? We saw a thunderstorm near Jacksboro. It's probably kicking up from just that little band of showers trying to move into Scott and Campbell counties. So we're watching that, we're watching clouds, we're watching haze, and of course the sun will be coming up in a few minutes from now. But the thunderstorms back toward Paducah may linger in here even as late as this evening. So sunrise, sunset today, 7:16. So we're still about a half hour away from the official sunrise. Sunset's now at 7:48. So if you're making plans this morning and you've got to get the kids to the bus stop, here's what I expect as we'll climb to about, say, 10 o'clock into the 70s, I would imagine, as the bus slides by. 74 for anyone who might be doing recess, although with rain potential, that might be off the table for teachers, for the little ones. And by 2 o'clock for pickup, temperature should be around 84. Wouldn't surprise me if we're at about 85 or 86 today. So just wanted to let you know and be aware of that. By the way, it's back. I didn't mention this yet, but it's back. We're talking about the orange creamsicle milk, still celebrating the return of the beloved orange creamsicle milk. Have you gotten your first sip of the season yet? Back for a limited time. Love the orange creamsicle milk. It's available now for a limited time from Weigel's. Weigel's, of course, is just better when it's fresh, farm to store in 24. And of course, it's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. But I love it when it's back. Orange creamsicle milk, pick it up back at a limit time. And if you haven't gotten your first sip of the season yet, we're going into game 3, you still have some opportunities. I want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, I got Melissa Mumpower on YouTube. She says, good morning. Have a blessed day, David. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my sponsor. When you go to Weigel's and you get in the cashier and you're looking for something to say, just say, hey, Captain Accurate sent you. And you might be surprised. They go, oh, yeah, okay. And then they're like, who's he? Now, they might actually respond to you in a very favorable way. I hope they do. Felicia says, good soggy morning from South Knoxville. Glad you're feeling better. Have a great Tuesday. Yes, I was a little under the weather. Ragweed and maybe a common cold was kind of going around last week. So I am on the mend, but thank you very much, Felicia, for your thoughts, prayers, and well wishes, because they do go a long way with me, especially prayers. And Wanda Poe say good morning. She's excited about the cool nights. And I'm, of course, very excited about the orange creamsicle milk. I may pick up some of that today myself. By the way, the bus stop forecast, going to go from 74 to 84. High temperature today will vary. Some of you will be in the mid-80s. Some of you may be in the upper 80s. I'm looking at Athens, 87. That's borderline upper. But certainly upper 70s will be more common in the plateau. So from Crossville to Jamestown, Wartburg, Oneida, and even toward Middlesboro, temperatures may struggle to reach the upper 70s to near 80. Allergies here at 648. Raging ragweed. I can attest. I can testify. Doesn't feel that great, right? You don't feel like 100%, and you say, oh, something's not, I don't feel great. That could be an issue. So just be mindful. We are in that time of year where raging ragweed really peaks in September. It sometimes can really reach its crescendo around Labor Day weekend and thereafter, but it doesn't typically disappear or dissipate until you get to that first frost. And that doesn't even occur typically till mid to late October. So the median first frost by the numbers and dates from the National Weather Service in Morristown would be October 24th. That's a long way away. Now, it doesn't mean it'll be that high in mid to late October. Days get shorter. It can also fluctuate. But the first freeze doesn't typically occur until November 2nd. So I thought that might be good intel to keep in mind. What about smoke? You know, we've been dealing with this summer, wildfire smoke. Will we see much here locally? Let's take a look. Maybe some faint gray areas from Knoxville, Maryville this afternoon, but with some showers in the area, it may kind of clear it out pretty quickly. May not be dealing with too much in the way of wildfire smoke. Dust can also have an impact on tropical weather, which is what I'm leading into next. And some very dark brown areas where winds kick up over Africa can bring in some dust in the central part of the Atlantic because the hurricane center interestingly enough, has a new disturbance they think could become Nigel. Hello, Nigel. Hello. Hello. 70% chance that Nigel comes to life. We already have Margot, who's headed due north. But, of course, all eyes for the United States is for Lee, because we have concern that we get brushed by a hurricane toward New England. Now, I'm going to show you some of the latest guidance and some of the guidance that takes Lee up toward maybe Maine, maybe Nova Scotia, maybe both. That's what it seems like. It almost looks like a pinball. Ding, 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 ding. You ever remember pinball? Oh, boy, I'm really showing my age. Pinball, being, like the bumpers. Okay, you get my picture. This is the way Lee is behaving in some of the data heading down the road as we look at 650. Look at these wave heights. I mean, this thing is getting bigger. It's got wave heights estimated around 38 feet. Are you kidding me? And the wind field could expand as it gets further north toward New England. So think of it as the pinball bumper. Lee's going to bounce around, perhaps around maybe Cape Cod, back to Maine, maybe buzzsaw through Maine and then work its way back to Nova Scotia. It may not be a clear-cut landfall. There could be multiple landfalls the way things are trending. And if you need some evidence for that, so that Captain Accurate's just not talking out of his side of his mouth, let's take a look. Oh, well, okay, some loop-de-loops. Oh, I see what he's talking about. Looks just like a pinball, doesn't it? If it heads towards, say, New Hampshire and Maine, and then curls back around, and then maybe it finds a new home in Nova Scotia, into the Canadian Maritimes. Also a possibility. So this Lee thing, known as a hurricane, is not clear-cut, even as we approach this upcoming weekend. Let me go back to where Lee is now. This is the 5 o'clock update. The next one will be 8 a.m. Has winds of 115. It's still a major hurricane, Cat 3. And by 2 o'clock this afternoon, it may not change much in intensity in the next couple of hours. But it's moving west-northwest at 7. That's at the top of the map there, right on the banner, movement west-northwest at 7. Now watch where it goes. It doesn't get stronger. In fact, it gets a little bit weaker. By 1 o'clock in the morning Friday, it is estimated by the National Hurricane Center, this is their track, puts that cone right maybe off the coast of North Carolina by many miles as a Category 1 hurricane. But eventually, the cone gets a little wider, and so it has room to go bounce, 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 and then work its way out. So we'll have to wait and see. But it does not show the intensity of the winds, but a lot of rain, that is for sure. And we can also assume that the winds will be far. It's not just like around the center of the eye. I mean, it's going to be eye wall. It's going to be pretty far reaching. So we saw the wave heights. This thing's getting a little more expansive. All right, 6:52. We do know this storm was at one time last Thursday night, Friday, a Cat 5, a Category 5. Imagine, winds of 165 is what it was clocking. But now it's a Cat 3 and could be weakening even still. So that's good news there. But here's how some of the future models show this going. You can see on the right, there's Margot. And let's see, do I have Margot? Yeah, and look where it's headed. It looks like it's headed toward Nova Scotia. Then it takes a left-hand turn. Ready? Oh, there's a little bit of left of a turn. 6:30 Saturday morning, and then maybe kind of lingers in that area. So there's Lee, there's Margot. That's some of the suggestions there, watching very closely. I want to come back on camera and say good morning to you. Stephen Snyder says, good morning, feels nice here. Felicia says, how will the clouds be tonight? I'm expecting partly to mostly cloudy tonight because the showers are going to linger to 7, 8, possibly 9 o'clock or later for some of you, and then maybe a spot rain shower tomorrow morning very early, which I'll show you on Futurecast. She says, we're hoping to see the green asteroid going by tonight if we can. That might be a little more challenging, but I'll be honest with you, the rain I don't think is going to be gone first thing this evening. It's going to maybe just kind of kick into high gear. If you didn't get any rain during the day, you might say, well, now I'm finally getting it. That's the kind of situation I expect will be possible tonight. So as we look at this Futurecast, this gives us an idea of where things are going. By the way, I mentioned Nigel. Where did I get that name? That's been on the list for many years. Well, it's been on the list from the start of this season, but it will be the next name on the list. So that little red area we highlighted with a 70% chance of formation over the next 7 days would likely be assigned. The name Nigel, followed by Ophelia and Philippe. Those are the next 3 names on the list. Kind of interesting to see the future rainfall. As I kind of do a little eyedropper here, what do I have over here? 7, maybe 10. Is that 10 there? It looks like 10 in the eyes area in the white. Is the white 10 inches? Maybe 7. Possibly the yellow areas in Maine, maybe over 3. And that's conservative. But if we move in a little bit tighter here, I mean, we're not talking about much rain. If you follow the legend, it's a ½ inch or less in many parts of the area. As you can see, basically, areas around Wartburg, maybe in the next 7 days. A little bit of rain in maybe Cumberland County, ½ inch. Gatlinburg, Knoxville, perhaps maybe a quarter. So it's nothing to get too excited about, but certainly if your lawn or garden needs it, the rain may be a little on the lighter side going forward. All right, headlines, 6:55. Shower storms develop today. Storms linger tonight. That's the key. And then less humid air midweek, looking really good as we head into maybe the Tennessee Valley Fair as the week continues, because they've been going on, obviously, since last weekend. 69 degrees current temperature at the airport. We have a northeast wind at 3, relative humidity at 93%. Chance of rain is highest today as compared to down the road. I don't have any rain Thursday, Friday, and maybe another 40% chance of rain coming back in on Saturday. Here's my valley planner for today. Mid-80s. Some of you might make it to 86, 87. Depends on if the rain holds off, but certainly upper 70s more common for the plateau. This is, again, focused on the valley, so places like Oak Ridge, Knoxville, Maryville, clouds, hazy sun, and a 60% chance for showers and storms. Let me talk about the severe weather. There's not going to be a whole lot here, but anticipating some in New England in the coming days. Phoenix, Tucson might have an isolated severe storm today. That's the map from the Storm Prediction Center. The Swamp, which we just highlighted for this Saturday, they today could get an isolated severe storm. So Gainesville, Florida, as well as Disney World might get some isolated severe storms there. But for us, the thunderstorms will be of the general variety. Wednesday, there's some areas between New Mexico and Texas that could get isolated severe based on the map that's well west of Lubbock. And then off to the northeast, this will continue to grow. This is Wednesday's outlook for, say, Long Island, Boston, and Providence for the potential for some isolated severe storms on Wednesday. And then, of course, nothing going on here. And then Thursday looks great. We have no humidity, hardly any clouds, and really looking good Thursday and into Friday, the way I see things. So if you're really excited about low humidity, cool nights, I think Wanda Poe was excited about that. I think you're going to be pleased with what you see in the near term. But here's the Futurecast. Watch the rain come in. It comes in from the west. You can see like this, it begins to fire up like so. And so you might see some scattered showers this morning, some scattered showers this afternoon, and it really may pick up as the drive home continues. As that continues to push to the east, the front begins to show some showers behind the front, and that's about 7:15 tonight. Once it begins to pull away, we'll see maybe some spots of rain tomorrow morning, and then that's the early morning rain. Not much, a little dot there. But then we're free and clear, I think, after a certain point in the morning for us from west to east. And we'll see some dry weather heading into Thursday and Friday. So that's the way things are shaping up. By the way, it's back. If I didn't mention it, still celebrating the return of the beloved orange creamsicle milk. Have you gotten your first sip of the season yet? The orange creamsicle milk by Weigels is yummy, rich, and creamy, and it's back for a limited time only at Weigels. Got to love the fact that they are super creative, and they also are very mindful that it's time for the Vols football season. Why not have the orange creamsicle milk? It's just better when it's fresh, farm to store in 24, and it's just better with Tennessee cows. Very thankful that it's back, and very thankful for Weigels. I'm going to come back to you. If you're on YouTube, I'm checking out you as far as some notes. Marilyn says, happy Tuesday. Melissa Mumpower says to hello, good morning, have a blessed day. Glad that she's on here. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you like my page. I've gone up to about almost 1,000 subscribers in the last couple of weeks, if not a month or more. So excited about that. John Standridge says, how many days of 90 do we have this summer? John, that's a great question. We've had 18 days. Average is 34. I don't have any in the 7-day. That's not to say we couldn't get. We've had some 90s in early October in just the last few years ago. But so, I mean, warm spells can come in October. But 18 is the answer to your question. And 34 is average. Last year it was 41. So like the tide, it can ebb and flow, but that's a great question. And I see Callie sending me some stars from Alcoa. Thank you, Callie. Very sweet of you, and excited to see your winter outlook, says Wanda Poe. That's one of the things. If you want to consider, go to CaptainAccurate.com. I have the link on how to sign up for my premium service on Facebook. We're dealing with weather that's beyond the 7 days, and soon to be released. Down the road will be my winter weather outlook. That's the place you'll want to be. By the way, I want to get to the nuts and bolts as far as the Futurecast for today. This is the macro view, but I think it's also helpful to look at different models, maybe on a closer view. This adds the temperatures, right? It doesn't even see the thunderstorms that we've had now in Scott Campbell County, so it did not initialize that storm very well. But this is where it takes it by midday today. You say, well, there's not a lot of rain outside of maybe south of Sevierville, maybe toward Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, but that really changes by the time we hit 3 o'clock, right? We're starting to see some showers, maybe some thunderstorms in red and yellow in Claiborne County, Loudoun County, perhaps into Monroe County. Then you say, well, at 4 o'clock, I'm heading out the door. Am I going to need an umbrella? Well, there's some areas around Athens, maybe around Sevierville. Maybe this gets a little more multiplied by 5 o'clock. Ooh, now 6 o'clock. Like I said, if you don't get rain between now and 4 p.m., it might only really kick into high gear by maybe 5, 6, 7, or 8. Because here's where it really shows some red and some color on the modeling at 6 o'clock today. It's now 7 o'clock. I'm going to wrap up here in about a minute, but I'm going to show you just about how this really kind of lingers. 8 o'clock tonight. There's 9 o'clock. You can still see some wet weather, and that's why I say it's going to be probably hard to see that green asteroid that Felicia was wondering about, because the cloud cover is pretty much dominant across this board. But once we get into tomorrow morning, maybe a spot of rain, and then it works its way out of the picture, and we see some breaking up of the clouds for the second half of tomorrow. Tomorrow's high should be in the upper 70s, but some models suggest we're in the low 80s again tomorrow. So clouds and hazy sun. Showers and storms. Winds pick up today, 5 to 10 plus. We're already seeing higher than 10-mile-an-hour winds where some of these thunderstorms are present. 84 for Oak Ridge, 84 for Morristown, 78 for Crossville. Those are my expectations today. 81 from Nashville, 87 for Chattanooga. So you're generally in the mid to upper 80s the further south you are in the Southern Valley. Tonight we're down to 63. Storms linger. That's key. Storms linger. Don't necessarily go to bed at 7 or 8. They could still be around even 9 o'clock or later, but clouds, partly to mostly. I'd say mostly for the evening, partly for the overnight, and then patches of fog when you wake up tomorrow morning. Tonight we're down to 58. Oh, that's nice. If you're in Oneida and Wartburg, 56 for Crossville, 61 Kingston, and 61 Newport. For low temperatures tonight, a pretty sweet way. The drop in humidity will be underway. As we take a look at the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee, I have us at 79 tomorrow, but we could easily see low 80s in parts of the region tomorrow as well. It's really not until Thursday I think we're going to see the real cool air and the less humid air take hold, because I got us a circle there at 54. That's the lowest point in the week for Knoxville. Clearly it's going to be in the 50s tonight for the plateau, but more showers and storms Saturday. I don't necessarily think that's going to affect Bristol if it's mainly during the day. Of course, it's a night race, but we'll see that and watch that closely. Sunday 80, Monday 80, so no 90s in this picture, as John Standridge was asking about 90 plus this year. Haven't had a whole lot. By the way, it's back, and I want to mention, if you haven't picked up some of the coffee, maybe you're new to East Tennessee, please check it out. It's back. I'm talking about the orange creamsicle milk from Weigel's, back for a limited time, and with only Weigel's, I mean, what more do you expect? You can expect some great flavors. They also have the peanut butter chocolate milk. You can pick up the standard chocolate milk, strawberry milk, or just the regular milk. They're awesome. And, of course, they are local and been around since 1931, over 90 years now. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. Very thankful for them. By the way, if you haven't picked up the orange creamsicle milk, tell them Captain Accurate sent you. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll have more updates still to come this rest of the day with some radar pictures as the rain continues to flare up. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.